Welcome to Motor Track Test, where we take the latest and greatest performance cars to the limit at the challenging Bryant Park Hill Climb circuit. We'll do a deep dive on the car's dynamics, try the different drive modes, and then wrap it up with a track score. Today on track we have the Mini Cooper JCW, the hottest variant in the regular Mini range. I'll quickly take you through the specs, hit the track to see what's what, and then set a lap time. So hit the time codes down below if you want to skip ahead. While you're there, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments below what cars you want to see us track test. Let's get into it. Powering the Mini JCW is a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine producing 170 kilowatts and 320 newton meters, driving the front wheels through an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Now, the JCW is pretty light at just over 1,200 kilograms, but check out these front brakes. 335mm rotors with 4 piston calipers. And the rears, don't worry about the rears. Wheels are 17s wrapped in Pirelli P7 Cinturato tyres. So let's see how it stacks up. It's been a long time since I've driven a Mini. It's been even longer since I've driven one on track. But this is the latest JCW, so it should be fairly at home. JCW standing for John Cooper Works, of course. The famous Mini tuner back in the day that led to all that rally success and racing success. So can this latest one continue the heritage? So what I need to do firstly is we'll put in sport mode. Oh, that's woken the throttle up markedly. Bit more of a fruity exhaust note, but it doesn't say maximum go-kart feel anymore. I think I might be happy about that actually. It was always a bit of a weird marketing slogan. In a Mini, you used to press sport mode, it would say maximum go-kart feel. Anyway, let's choose the halfway ESP setting, so dynamic traction control, which is kind of like your sports setting. Let's lift the pace. So this is automatic. We've got an 8-speed auto. I'll just leave it to its own devices actually, see how it goes. This is a strong engine, sounds good too. 170 kilowatts, 320 newton meters in a fairly small car. We're still getting a lot of traction control intervention though, even at this not flat out speed. It's pretty subtle though, pretty unobtrusive. Like it's just flashing there as the inside wheel picks up. There's no proper mechanical LSD in this car, so we might lose a bit of traction with wheel spin. So it's flashing here, still flashing, but it's not really limiting me too much. Lots of torque. Cut in a bit there over the crest. But let's see. See how we go. So engine's good. Lots of torque. Sounds pretty good. It's not a hugely revvy unit, but that's to be expected, you know, with these heavily turbocharged engines. I mean, you know, a 2-litre turbo 4 in a car this big is pretty impressive. There you go, up the hill, plenty of speed. It's a very easy car to drive. Got into sport mode, but the steering is not a whole heap of, oh, I get a bit of connection there. I can sort of feel the front tyres starting to slip. Not a huge amount of feedback, but enough that I can feel what's going on. Brakes feel good. Not a whole lot of feel, but they're very, very impressive in terms of their stopping power. If we come up over this crest, let's give it a bit of gas. Up the hill, 80, 90, 100, then on the get. Oh, look at that. That stands on its nose. Certainly not going to run out of brakes in a hurry. Handling's pretty good. But it does feel different to the last generation Mini. I mean, this current generation's been out quite a while now. 2014, I think it came out. So it's probably nearing the end of its life cycle, but it did spell quite a change of character compared to the previous Minis. I love the previous Minis. They could be a bit painful every day because the ride was pretty unrelenting, but man, they were fun to drive. They could be a handful. They didn't mind oversteering one little bit. On a track like this, that would be go-kart feel, especially I remember the GP2 special edition that they did. That thing was just an absolute riot. You'd have it wicked up on a tight road or a track and the thing would be jinking around like an old Mini, basically. One thing this car does share with Minis of old is you kind of feel like you're sitting directly in the middle of a car. Like the windscreen is a long way away from me and then I've got the bonnet in front of that. I kind of feel like I'm sitting almost where the B-pillar would be in a normal car. Steering wheel is typically BMW fat, but I don't mind it in this car. Take it by the scruff of the neck. All right, that traction control is starting to annoy me. So let's hold down the button and we'll kill it. There we go. And we'll see how this thing goes without the electronics getting in the way. Gearbox works well too. Yeah, it's an auto in a hot hatch and some people don't like that, and in a car like this I'd probably take the manual, to be honest. But gotta admit, the auto does work pretty well. It's not refusing my downshifts, so the ratios must be about right. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of inside wheel spin as it picks up over these curbs, but traction's still good. Still got plenty of traction. See if I come down out of this tight corner, back to second. A little bit of inside wheel spin, but it evaporates pretty quickly. Again, a little bit of traction loss over that crest, but it's picking up well. A bigger issue at the moment is understeer. Understeer, of course, being front wheel drive, if you take too much speed into a corner, the front end's going to push wide. Same with every single car on the planet. However, then I scrubbed the front end wide and lifted, and the back end moved a little bit, it tightened its line just a fraction, but compared to the Minis of old and compared to the very best hot hatches, I must say, this thing is it's a little bit dynamically inert. Like I'm driving to the front tyre grip, and as you can see, look at that, give it just degrees of understeer really. I can't really throw the car in. I think this being a Mini, I might be able to, you know, chuck it around, jinking into corners, be a bit lively, but what I'm getting is basically slow the car, wait for the front, look for the exit, and then go. And that's okay. I mean, that's okay. It's the quick way, it's effective, and there is an enjoyment in that, but I want to commit to a corner, but there's only so hard I can commit because I know the front's just going to wash. Great brakes though, great brakes. Like this corner, I'm just going to wait. These long corners towards the end of the track, I can't really, no matter what I do, I can't really get the car rotated into the corner to make the exit easier and get this power down. I just got to wait. The front end pushes. Oh, a bit of a chirping into third there. Even at this, usually cars will sort of wash into oversteer over that crest, but look, it's still effective, and it'll be interesting to see what time it does. But I am just having to wait for a lot of front end push. Maybe it'll be better on a faster circuit, somewhere like, ironically, somewhere like Phillip Island, where you've got a bit more speed, you're up into third and fourth gear, and can maybe float the car in. The loads are a bit bigger, but here at this circuit where you'd think it might suit the Mini, being sort of tight, twisty, you need agility, but it's fast, got plenty of grip, got decent traction, strong engine, gearbox is good, fantastic brakes, but I just like a little bit more rear end involvement just to help get the car pointed towards the exit. Something like, even the GR Yaris Rally where you lift and the front end bites and it rotates the car. Obviously that's all-wheel drive, but the best front-wheel drive hot hatches will do it too. But let's see if this sort of, you know, relatively safe, steady approach pays dividends in terms of the lap time.
Despite its solid on-paper specs, the Mini JCW just isn't that quick. It's 1 minute 11.8 second best, trailing the similarly priced i30N DCT by more than 3 seconds.
So, the Mini JCW. Strong engine, fantastic brakes, confidence-inspiring handling, but it just lacks some of the adjustability that made its predecessors so much fun. And that's why it gets a track score of 7 out of 10.